Namaste friends, and I hope you're doing well. Like always, the caveat here is that do not take every word of mine, okay, verbatim, and this can cause you much complications when you read your chart, because we are all unique in our own ways, okay, which also means that our charts are very unique. We have to assess so many things. Jyotisha is dynamic in nature. So we cannot accept blindly on what are the words that is out there in the internet or in the YouTube. What can be done is accepting that these are solid foundational references where you can build from that. Okay, so that's a little caveat there. The other thing is that you have to have some basic understandings before going to conjunctions. If you're new, then I would suggest that you go through some of my principal videos in my YouTube. Just go through them. But anyway, let's get started. Now, the Sun and Ketu in the third house. The Sun's elemental features, or the essence of the Sun, is more towards a dharmic nature. It has more dharma. It upholds dharma. Dharma is like virtue, righteousness, and good conduct, and things like that. So the Sun will naturally illuminate truth in whichever house it resides. In this case, it's residing on the third house. So all the attributes of the third house will be shine forth with full brilliance, right? All the dharmic qualities of that particular house will be shown out. Now, Ketu, on the other hand, is a graha, which is more, I would say, it keeps pondering over whatever's happened. The Ketu will show us our previous lives. It gives us some clues on what could have happened in our previous birth. So whichever house Ketu resides, it gives us an idea on what has happened on our previous life. So the third house in this case shows the sense of courageousness, okay. There's so many attributes like short trips, siblings, neighbors, friends, and all that. School, your primary school and so on. But then those are manifested out of the core essence of it. The essence of the third house is your ability to use whatever features that you had on the second house. Remember, these houses are connected. So whatever features that you have gained, or the value that you have gained, or the asset that you have from the second house, you're going to take it to the next level. Okay, you're going to start to explore individually by not having much support. Okay, you're taking that daring move. You want to step forth to this world to try out whatever that you've earned from the second house. Okay, so which again shows the courage within you. All right, courage doesn't only mean fighting with the enemies or going against the government or something like that, which people commonly say. But the third house is all about self-courage. That the veiler within. Okay. Anyway, so that's about the third and the Ketu and the Sun. Now, what happens when this comes together? All right, a synergy is formed. All right, this makes a person, if you have it in your chart, and remember, it still depends on the strength and the qualities, the dignities, the dispositions. Just so many things to consider. But as I mentioned, as a base level understanding, this state of having the Sun, Ketu in the third house gives a person very low courage. Okay, the person will try their level best to become independent, but for some reason it's always pushing back them. Okay, say if you want to, you just finished school and you want to set forth to this world. Okay, you want to explore the working environment. How does that feel? Or you want to do something new. You want to start your own business, or you want to get into a relationship. Whatever the thing is, something that you have to find courage within to move. That responsibility. People who have a bad situation here, or people who has adverse effects due to the problematic Sun or Ketu, will have problems getting into a relationship. I've noticed over the years. They just, despite having money and socially they are well known, they are self-sustaining, they have everything that requires, but still they are afraid to get married. They are afraid of responsibilities of marriage. They are afraid of responsibility of a committed relationship, I would say that. So these people, they have this fear within them, okay? We can't call them cowards, but it's just that they cannot find strength to take the first step, okay? That's what naturally Sun and Ketu would do in the third house. Again, this depends. It can go the other way around as well, depending on the strength and the other details that I mentioned. So, the other thing is having the, that self-conviction to say that yes, I can do, seems to get confused at times. Because if the Sun is strong, all right, remember the Sun is precedence, it will take control over any grahas except Mercury. The Sun will try to show its dominance by teaching the graha which is closest to it some lessons, all right. It's just like a very serious headmaster, for example. I always say that he or she would need to tell the students once a while, look who's the boss around here, correct? Just like that. So the Sun would always try to shroud whichever graha that is together with it. Of course, it depends on the distance of the conjunction and all that, which goes into technical aspects. But for now, just understand that this person or people who have this, they just find it difficult to take the first step. Sometimes they'll take the first step, they'll move on, they'll find all of a sudden some courage, some sudden impulse will come to them and they will start to move on in life. Somewhere in the middle, they will just back off. They feel that something is wrong. They'll come back home and then they say one day, no, this plan is not going to work, this project is not going to work, I'm going to think about something else. That sense of rapid emotional changes, or you just change your mindset in a fraction of a second, because that extremeness is seen when you have Sun and Ketu, okay, especially in the third house. It is not a good combination by far. The fact remains that these people will need to find a lot of courage, okay, and a lot of remedies needs to be done. Certain specific remedies must be done in order to afflict this. Okay, so that's a little bit about what Sun and Ketu will do in the third house. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe. There's going to be many conjunction videos which I'm planning to do over the few months. So please subscribe and stay tuned. Namaste.